Yo, 10 shots, 6 blunts blowing through the session. Dragging on a split, free and dragging on a cliff. A MC in the booth, an assassin on the roof. I'm just waiting to shoot. Nigga, hurry up and die. Greatest truck of spares, you would think you had drama.
What's really good, ladies? It's the OG Boricua Dantara, a.k.a. the greatest of all time. I'm here with none other than AB and the other guy. Talk to me, my brother. Before he starts talking, I want you to talk to me.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it. This is going to be the second pod, I believe, that I'm on. Either call forward or call backward is what that's called, but on pods. But hey, thanks for the invite. I hope I represent Houston and do us justice.
Okay, what is going?
Yes, sir.
Really not these guys today. Sir. This is going to get old quick.
And you already know who this is. This is your boy, your quintessential Puerto Rican muffin, Jorge, a.k.a. Muffins Martinez. And we're here, and it feels so good to finally have another Astros fan on the house because I'm so sick of them Yankees and everything that New York stands for.
Yo, you know what? I swear to God, if you ever talk sports, it'll be a lot different. It'll be a whole lot different if we talk sports. Like, I mean, let's keep it honest. Let's keep it honest. The Yankees got more championships than the whole state of fucking Houston.
Whatever. First of all, the state of Texas. And you guys haven't won a championship in the last 20 years.
What are you talking about?
Okay, whatever. Since 2010, I meant. Since going down in the 22nd century.
All right, you know what? MLW time, Mount Rushmore, 4 names. Now, the way I thought about doing this, I was like, man, if we all just say 4 names, it's easy. That would be unfun. Now, I think we have to agree on the 4 names that stay on Mount Rushmore. I think that's the cool part about this, because I know that you guys would have some great names. I know I have some great names, but I think collectively to try to sit back and say, what 4 faces go on that Mount Rushmore and stay on there? So I'm going to start because I just feel like starting.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Age before beauty. Since I'm the oldest, I'll go first.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
So go ahead. Go ahead, because I don't even want your first name. I don't want your first name. Go ahead.
First name right here, baby. I'm going to take it right on the hat. Boom. Oh, yeah. He bled a lot for MLW in the first 3 years. My man, your man, Mr. Steve Corino.
All right. I'm definitely anti-Corino. All right. Listen, there's 3 people. Dude. This is the beautiful part of the vote, is that AB is actually the deciding vote for most of this shit. So if he doesn't like Steve Corino possibly taking a spot from one of his guys, he goes no, and your thing is gone.
Hold on, brother. Steve Corino, right from the beginning, 2002, 2005, the battles against Terry Funk, the battles against Dusty Rhodes, the battles that him and the work horsemen, what the hell are they called? The extreme horsemen had against all those guys there for those 3 years. I mean, that much blood that they bled in that ring. Steve Corino has at least 4 liters of blood on that ring. At least he deserves to be mentioned. And the sick part about this is that he's connected to a lot of ECW guys because they used a lot of those guys at the beginning. You know, Terry Funk, Sabu, Sandman. So that's the part that I don't like, because I hate ECW with a passion. But, you know, Steve Corino was the mainstay. He was like the main bad guy there for a couple of years. He was the heel of the heels. I mean, you can't take that away from the man.
Who gives a shit? That's all I'm saying. AB, it's on you. If you say no, Steve Corino it's on you. But remember, he could be taking a spot from you.
All right. So, one of the reasons that I would pick Steve Corino
You already failed.
is
Took too long.
because he was a champion right before the biggest, longest pause in wrestling history. He brought up MLW from the beginning. I mean, people from ECW followed. Yeah, they had Ring of Honor working in the background and other things going on, but people followed Corino from ECW over to MLW. They really did. I really have to go with the King of Old School. He was
All right.
he was my number one pick.
Wow. Okay, so that's what it really boils down to. He was on
That's
both
the
your.
card right there. Yes, sir.
I got it. It's this is the Houston thing going on right now, and it's more than old quick. So listen, face one is Steve Corino. Don't clap. Don't clap. Steve Corino gets the face one. All right. So now I happen to be 43 years old. If this is an age thing, AB, how old are you? Because obviously we're going age.
I'm younger. Not by much, but
Okay.
I'm younger.
So unfortunately, you got to go last because it's age before beauty.
Know it, baby.
I'm going Jacob Fatu because I don't care
Of
what
course.
anyone says.
Of course. Of
What do
course.
you mean?
Of course, predictable. Just for that right now, just name the whole contract unit as your Rushmore right now and get it over with.
I was going to do that, but that wasn't fair. So,
Look at that.
but how can you take anything? Listen, all right. How can you take anything away from Jacob Fatu? What Jacob Fatu has done since he's came in to right now?
Oh, you
Jacob
can't.
Fatu, he's and not for nothing. And hear me out. Let's just say people live under a rock and they did not know Jacob Fatu. The hype and buzz behind Jacob Fatu right after that Josh Alexander match showed everybody once again how much of a star Jacob Fatu is. So Jacob Fatu, there's no way that you people could literally hate and say he does not get a face on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, it's just you're so predictable though. That's all I said. That's all I'm saying.
How am I
So
predicting? I picked.
I want to throw something in there because Fatu, he's on my list of top guys there, and he was seriously under consideration. But I'm gonna say this
Oh
in the
no, we're not.
beginning when Contra came into MLW, was it more Fatu the Beast, or was it the voice of Josef Samael that put the Beast over?
But wait, and hear me out. That's a beautiful pairing because that's War Beast for years before MLW. So they go hand in hand. And when I say Jacob Fatu, and I agree, I always say Contra Unit is Contra Unit's a cool faction. If you took Joseph Samael out, if you took him out, it's a cool faction. When you add Joseph Samael, it's a dominating, terrorizing force. There is nobody that talks like Joseph Samael. He's a once in a lifetime, and that's just obviously I'm being extremely biased because that's the big homie, but I don't remember anyone who took a character like that, talked like that, and had a sense of violence that felt so organically real. But when you look at the body of work that Jacob Fatu has done in ring, I still think that shows Jacob Fatu as, if not one or number two, to MLW period. And I might be a little biased with Contra Unit.
Really, really biased a little, a little.
Those are my guys.
So I will say one of the things that allowed me to say, okay, Fatu's got to be in the running. He was the longest reigning champion for MLW. Yes, I know the whole COVID shutdown thing happened, but still, even in there were vignettes, there were what's going to happen with Contra, where's this going. And when it came back, it was still, who's the champ? Who is a champ? Who is everybody looking at? Who is everybody aiming for right now? So I can seriously see it. I'll reserve that one because I'm not sure.
Whoa! So it's on you. If you say no, Jacob Fatu don't go on.
Well, he said he put on reserve.
I
That's
want
not.
to reserve
That's.
that one.
I
Can we
need
do
your
that?
answer.
Oh my
Well,
gosh! All right.
Put him to the side as the first person that will come in if you take somebody out.
Nah, hell no. Now ain't no honorable mentions on Mount Rushmore. What president is the honorable mention?
He wanted.
I'm just saying.
Unanimous. All right. So, Muffins, what do you got? Are you okay with it?
Actually, I'm fine with it. To be honest with you, yes, I'm fine with it.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, that's 2 out of 4.
Start chiseling. That's
now
2
this
out
is
of
where
4.
it gets hard now because there's only 2 slots left.
Yeah, it gets easy from here. So AB, who you got?
Oh, it gets easier? Oh no. It got so hard from here.
That's what he said, easier.
And here's the thing that I don't know if we're gonna get to me again. So I gotta throw this person on there. A valet, a manager. I think that this person should be on there. Manager for the LA Park. Manager for Low Key. Do we know who we're talking about? The beautiful. That's right. That is right. I can't think of MLW in the past 4 years, 3 years without Salina de la Renta being in there.
Yep, he's right. He's right.
Whoa.
I would fly seriously to Dallas every time MLW was there just to get a glimpse of Salina. Seriously. I'm not a stalker.
No. I didn't think. See, I knew if I said Joseph Samael, he's gonna say no because I would have went contra heavy, right? So I was like, there's no one else in my head. I was like, there's no one else on Joseph Samael's level. When you said that, I was like, oh shit. We've been on here and we've been talking about Salina de la Renta for a long time of how dominant she was and what she actually meant to the product. Like, she was a dope heel. She was a great manager. She did things behind the scenes where a lot of people might not have known. Her character from when she started to where she's at now is insane. And people genuinely hated her. Like, there were people that really despised her. She came out and they were like, I hate this bitch. I had people that would literally, real talk. We did a podcast and I had like 12 DMs like, please never talk about that bitch again. And I was like, oh, we're just going to OD and keep talking about her now. If she hurt your feelings, then she's doing her job. There's no way she could be back off.
Like you said, she was a manager. She became the focal point, like the main person between United States and Mexico for a while with the talent that was coming over. She did that. She did the behind the scenes. I mean, she even executive produced 2 or 3 episodes for MLW. She was doing the Spanish announcing, dubbing for MLW in Spanish after the show. So she was the one person there. I mean, and at that time, I want to say she was maybe hitting 20, 21 years old at that time. I think now she's 23 or 24 now. But at that time, I mean, she was Stephanie McMahon as important at that time. And then I don't know what happened afterwards, and she shriveled out to OnlyFans with her frenemy over there. But now she's back now. She's actually back in Texas, back now in Dallas. She's doing executive producing for SWF wrestling in Texas or something like that. With Teddy Long. And from what I've seen, she's putting some good shit out there. But I mean, it is the tale of how far you flew and got close to the sun and burned her wings to fall down to not get back to where she's at now. I mean, that's a drastic fall for where she was at 2 years ago. So, but she definitely deserves that though, for real.
That's a unanimous decision. There's no way anyone's going to go against her. So now, here's the crazy part: is there's one slot, and there's so many people's names that should be on there, and two of them might have.
No, because like I said, if we mention somebody that belongs there, then we have to go back and rethink who we have up there. We could replace somebody else. I'm just saying, you never know.
All right, go ahead, because.
But my second pick will be the one and only, the one who brought MLW to where it's at now, the one and only who was the leader of the best crew in MLW history.
Josef
the
Samael?
one and only. Hell no, man. You're your damn mind.
Eddie Hart?
Who? You're right. The one and only MJF.
Get the fuck out of here.
Gotta eat their mind. MJF single-handedly became the biggest heel in MLW at that time for 2 years. Brought the best faction in wrestling at that time in with the Dynasty. Got so big for MLW that he left to AEW and single-handedly became the biggest heel in AEW thanks to MLW, giving him the platform to be where he's at right now. That dude became the biggest heel and the biggest star in AEW, period. To the point we saw what happened with his little tirade thing on the ring, and then nobody knows what the hell's going on ever since. You know, will he ever come back to AEW? Is he gonna go now to Triple H? Because I was gonna say Uncle Vince, but Uncle Vince is no longer there. Or will he come back home to MLW? But if it wasn't for him, dude, I don't think MLW will be in that position they are now if it wasn't for having that one hated person that you hate for 2 years. You see, I hate that dude right there. I hate that dude. That's MJF.
I gotta cut you off because, and do not think I'm being a homer here, but do you think people hated MJF more than they hated Josef Samael?
At that time, yes.
No,
for sure.
I'm talking MJF, sure. MLW, Josef Samael contra unit MLW, not one on time or whatever. Who had the bigger impact? It's definitely Josef Samael.
You're out of your damn mind.
And
you out of your damn mind.
There's no way you're going to pick MJF over people like Tom Lawler or Low Key. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Dude, I'm talking about heel-wise.
No. Mount Rushmore is the greatest four. It's the big four. There's no way MJF goes before Filthy Tom Lawler or Low Key. How? I need you to tell me he does.
He does for the simple reason that, to me, he did more for MLW than Tom Lawler did and Low Key did. And I love Low Key. Don't get me wrong. But he did more for MLW though. For 2 years that he did more for MLW. Who was the storylines again? Tommy Lawler against NJF and the Dynasty. Low Key, who was being managed by Christina Renta, going up against the Dynasty. Everything went through the Dynasty. Even the few with Contra Unit went through the Dynasty.
But okay, hold on.
Without the Dynasty, there would not be those feuds there without the Dynasty. Every single person you mentioned went through the Dynasty.
Richard Holiday proved, listen, in the short period, we got Richard Holiday to be the heel he was. If you look at, and I'm just saying from what your standpoint is, heel to heel, if you look at the effect of what Richard Holiday did, it showed how important he was to the company, to me, way more than MJF. MJF, you might have hated him. Richard Holiday was perfect storytelling, and it made sense.
But
it was always
Holiday is the guy now. What I put him as MJF now in 2022. I'm talking about 2018, 2019, before
Listen,
COVID. It was the dynasty. It was MJF. It wasn't contract unit. Everything went through the dynasty, through get to the storylines.
what's
There,
that guy?
2017,
What's that guy
18,
on that,
19.
that music show where he hates on everyone?
Who?
The guy, I don't know. He's like an old guy when you're trying to sing or whatever, and he's like, "You ain't got what it takes." And
Oh, Simon Cowell.
all right, that's who I am because it's a hard no for me. Like MJF is not getting on this. AB, please let him know that's not happening.
All right. So I can see, I certainly can see MJF being there. I can see it. If maybe, you know, we didn't have Carino. We didn't have, and we haven't even talked about our current champ. We haven't even touched our current champ. I
All
mean,
right, so let's put MJF to the side. Then we put him to the side.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, MJF is a fucking not gonna happen.
Whatever, man.
Listen, I'm just being honest, and I'm not gonna say Hammerstone because I knew he was on your list. So I'm gonna retract mine, and I'm gonna stick with Filthy Tom Lawler because he went from MMA kicking ass to thugging and bugging and like booty shorts. Pause. But I'm just saying, like that was a wild dude. Let's be honest, that was a wild look, and he made it happen. And Tom Lawler, he was a legit wrestler. He could talk. He could wrestle. He had his own little crew. It wasn't like an MMA guy that needed a manager or all he could do was wrestle and that was it. Tom Lawler actually showed, yo, I'm part of this entertainment business. He, to me, deserves to be up on that last spot.
He's another one I can see up there. Yeah, he's on my long list. I don't know that he made my short list. I mean, I understand he was, you know, he was a champ, but I feel like when he was a champion, that was a transitional era where you had so many talent leaving and getting signed with you know, the big company, and they sort of said, okay, who can we put that will bring in some people or at least keep who we have? I can certainly see him being up there, but I think he's on that same level with MJF. I know, just getting really quickly, the MJF in the past 2 years since he's been away from MLW, I feel he's bigger now because they've let him flourish in the company he's in. But I couldn't see him being the top four, and I really, really don't know that I can see Lawler being up there.
All right. So AB, who you got?
All right. So difficult because I went earlier with, you know, and I had to bring her up, and I had to bring her up quick because I didn't even know if we were going to get back to me. I thought we were going to agree on like the floor and then call it a day, shut the laptops, and let's go home. I really did. I was like, oh man, this is going to be
never here with us. That will never happen here. Tell you that right now. Never. That
So
would never happen. It's never a quick show. It's always something.
Yeah. So again, long list, right? MJF, Tom Lawler, low key is in there, but I felt like low key wasn't low key until he had Salina with him, which is why I put Salina over. I felt like she was carrying a lot of the company, especially a lot of those transient wrestlers like, you know, LA Park that was in and out, and some of the luchadores that came in here. So I have to say my boy and y'all's boy too, Alexander Hammerstone. You have to. He has carried the company the past 2 years through COVID after stripping the belt on the big show on, was it Vice? Yeah, on that big show. I mean, there were people, even Jim Cornette did a review on that. And Hammerstone hurt, pulled through, and won the belt.
And I was there for that show.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
was there. I was there. I was there. I threw my boxers in the ring.
So listen, I'm going to disagree, even though I think
What?
he is. That should be right.
What do you
But
think?
I do think that
What do you think he is?
what?
You said. What do you mean? You think he is?
No. I said I'll disagree. I do think he deserves to be on there, but I'm just
Okay.
saying at the same time, in that same 2-year stretch of him being undefeated, so was Jacob Fatu. So Jacob Fatu was at the top, and Hammerstone
Yeah.
was built up through going through contra unit. That's what made Hammerstone look really good. The reason why I'm going to say no is because his reign has been utter bullshit trash. Besides Davey Richards and Richard Holiday gave him a spark again because how great Richard Holiday was. That's my beef with Hammerstone. Is his reign has one good match and nothing else outside of Richard Holiday. His beef
But
with
don't forget.
El Jefe only looked good because of Richard Holiday.
But let's not forget he was also the open weight champion before he became the champion too. So he carried the belt for the 2 years before he got his, title match.
And he had the same amount of time as Jacob Fatu did, but Jacob Fatu had way more better matches at the top
Yeah,
of the
my
chart.
question is this to you: who do you put over him?
I would put low key.
Okay, but your argument a lot of the times was for was actually for MJF's buddy,
Richard Holiday.
Richard Holiday. So sorry. So why not Holiday?
Holiday deserves to be on there, but I feel like Holiday has always been the other guy to everyone else until
Yeah,
recently.
he's not there yet. He's not there.
And well, it's all right.
No, he's not there.
I don't give a fuck. We're gonna talk some spoilers. We all know he did not beat. I don't care. Fuck everybody.
Oh.
He did not beat Alexander Hammerstone, which was the wrong move. Not because I'm a Richard Holiday guy. It's because when you're a company and you build something up perfectly, you have to pull the trigger because it makes perfect sense to do it. Holiday had Hammerstone had an amazing 2.5 years. Now everyone's like, oh snap, look at what Holiday has done. Two took her shit to another level with him. So now all of a sudden you're like, oh man, they're like a power couple. They're doing their thing. And then he loses. And you're like, oh, that's whack. Bandito gets hurt. He loses again. So all you did was take Richard Holiday, take that shit, threw it out the window, and was like, well, he's our mid-card guy, maybe an open weight or a tag team guy. And Richard Holiday proved I'm more interesting and fascinating than the guy you have the top belt on. If they put that belt on him, I'm putting him on there. If they didn't put the belt on him, I can't put him on there.
I see that. I can see that. And I can certainly see the angle, the loss of the angle there. I mean, you're right. In the past 2 years, in the past at least 6 months, they did build up Holiday. They really said, hey, Holiday is going to be maybe our top heel. And then, they could have taken it away with a win on Holiday, and then taken it to the break and said, oh, there's this long break. Now, how does Hammerstone rebuild to get his belt back?
Exactly.
And right, it's a loss of a storyline.
Now,
So,
can we
go ahead?
Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead, Chef. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say, this fourth spot is going to be really hard because, like I said, we explained Holiday. I don't think MJF gets on there. AB agrees.
Well,
I
that's
love
what I was gonna say. Something.
his main reign.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. Do you take somebody who's been there for just a year in the company, or no?
If that's the case, I would put Alex Kane there.
I was gonna say and Duca, because he still hasn't lost a match yet.
What matches has he had where you sit back and go, oh damn, that's a barn burner? Even with the LAX match, they just smashed up on Danny Limelight.
well, the 11 eliminations from last year's Battle Royal or Battle Riot. I mean, the matches that he had against the Mexican wrestlers down in Mexico, he always looked good. The tag team matches against like you said, 5150, and then the ones with Mr. Thomas and I forgot his name now. Mr. Thomas and Kane,
Yeah.
and then the also tag team match against Los Maximos.
You know what? I know who should be on that fourth one. Myron Reed, I think, should be the fourth face on that. No?
I can see it.
I can see him being up there. I can certainly see him being up there.
I mean, the he had against that moron, the guy who always retires every other month. Woo! The guy who retires every other couple of months, he comes back and retires. Black dude, short.
ACH?
The other guy.
No. Leo Rush.
Yeah, him, Leo Rush. He had that bourbon against Rush where he actually lost the middleweight title. Then he got the middleweight title back. Then he lost it, and then he got it back again for a third time. So, I mean, the dude is definitely doing his shit. And then he lost his tag team partner and for Injustice. So he was by himself for a while. And then they brought the chick for Mil Muertes, who thought we thought she was going to be her manager, and then nothing happened after that.
Yeah, Carrie Perez,
yeah,
like that.
Carly. Yeah, and then nothing happened. So I think he's been through transitions, and he's still kind of coming up on top.
And now he's part of the Bomaye Fight Club. Let's get it.
All right, I saw AB shake his head though. Who you got, AB? Who you got?
Mance
Warner.
Who knocked your boy, what do you call it, MJF out of the company?
He did.
Yeah.
He did take him out of the company.
And he was a headache, too. He was a headache.
I think Mance Warner, for me, I remember going to those matches in Dallas and seeing him and him being an attraction. People always wanting.
What?
He's a very attractive man. No, man, I really thought I really liked his match, his bunkhouse match that he had a couple of years ago against. His name eludes me too, but they had to get rid of him. No, well, so I remember that match, the match where Sami Callihan got taken out of MLW, permanently suspended because of because of the whole breaking things in the arena. But I just think he's been consistent. He's sort of a wild card out there. He came back to MLW, and I think I remember when they announced that he was back in MLW, and all of the Twitter feed was just, I mean, it was like 50, 60 quick. Oh my gosh, I'm glad to see him back. Where has he been? Why did he leave?
Well,
I just think
he carries. We haven't seen him in MLW yet. We've seen him in the Ric Flair match, and we've seen him in AEW. So we haven't even seen him in MLW yet.
He was in Battle Riot though,
which we haven't seen yet either.
No. All right. Well, listen. I leave it up to you. Are you saying Myron Reed gets that fourth spot, or are you saying Mance gets that fourth spot?
And don't forget Microman. Sorry, Saint Ron, if you're watching.
Oh Lord.
Muffins, call it. Call it. Who you got? Do you stick with the Houston connection, or do you actually pick the right guy?
They're all right. They're all the right guys, period, no matter what. So
who were you picking, bro? This is not some political race where, we got to debate on it. Pick first. Come on, man. They want to see you bouncing back and forth. Who you got? Are we putting Mance in that fourth spot? Or are we putting Myron? Or are you going to admit the truth and put Joseph
Oh,
Samael?
the blue mini gets in.
Hell no.
What we could do is this. We could do this. Put in Warner and Reed and take out Jacob Fatu. That
Get
works.
out of here. Get out of
That
here.
works. That works for me right there.
No way. That's impossible. That's a slap in the face. If it was up to me, it would be Joseph Samael, Jacob Fatu, Mads Kruger, and Ikuro Kwon.
Oh,
That's would be
Contra unit.
That would be contra unit Rushmore. That's what it would be.
And the flag there too. The flag will be the
And the flag
fifth
stands
character.
behind waving. And you hear that, Hail Cultural. Yeah, let's go. Who you got? Myron Reed or Mance Warner? Pick it so we can get up out of here. I'm hungry as a mother.
Dr. Dash from Rochester, New York.
AB, you know what we do here? We go half the face is Myron Reed, half the face is Mance, and they make one face because this guy said Dr. Dax.
Oh, oof, man. All right, so how about we take off Carino and we add Reed and give that last spot to Mance Warner?
That's a bad idea, brother. Guarino was there from the beginning. You cannot remove history. You cannot remove history.
Nobody
you do not remove history.
I'm not getting invited back. I already know.
Listen, no one remembers this guy. No one cares. He was part of that MLW 2002, whatever the hell it was.
It's
still
part of the company. It's still part of history.
It was. Make the call then, bro. Make the call. Who takes that last spot? Anyone except for MJF, so we can get up out of here. You want it to be Richard Holiday?
That's what you said.
No. AB said it, and I agreed. And then I said why I struggled with saying yes or no to it.
Well, AB, don't you have a list? Don't you have some other names? Just pick somebody else that we haven't mentioned yet.
So those were my names, right? Myron Reed was up there. He was on my long list. Mance Warner was on my long list. Low Key was on my long list. Holiday, I can get talked into him, because he was the face of the dynasty after MJF left, and maybe even before, right? I mean, he was the dynasty. You saw so much parts of the shows dedicated towards him. You really did, and dedicated towards the dynasty. And then they brought Hammerstone along, which is what we talked about, right? So not only the matches, but they brought Hammerstone along up in the past 4 years, bringing him up in the dynasty and letting people see him. So maybe,
and Hammerstone's been tag team, open weights, and now the champion. So
yeah, but because Richard Holiday molded his ass.
Hey, true.
Listen, Richard Holiday's taking that fourth spot. AB, that's your guy. I'm agreeing to it now, and that's what we're sticking with.
Actually, we should take Hammerstone out and put Holiday in. So he's the one that actually
didn't make it in. He was on this. This is the heart.
All right. So Holiday for sure should be the fourth.
So unfortunately, we have Steve Carino. Unfortunately,
hey,
then Jacob.
He was there since day one, bro. Come on now.
Okay, I got you. I heard fucking 40 years ago, Steve Carino's there.
He's the George Washington.
He's the George Washington of our Mount Rushmore for MLW. Steve Carino, Jacob Fatu, Salina De La Renta, and Richard Holiday.
Start chiseling it.
It's chiseled. AB sealed the deal. Jorge tried to give this to be like 4 hours long because he couldn't give a damn answer.
I did. That was him.
Him,
That's him, not me. Him.
It was you.
Come on now. First of all, we're supposed to be unbiased in doing this fourth thing here, and we all pick one person that we liked. How is that unbiased?
We're not biased. We agreed. That's the part of how we had three people to agree or to disagree. We all agreed.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But we all agree, I don't know, leave me alone, man.
Listen, you're supposed to get smarter with age. This guy's losing his marbles.
Bro,
Listen.
every time I use the bathroom and I flush, there goes an IQ point right there.
I can't. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're up out of here. Deuces.